Hello everyone. So since we have understand what Git is and briefly know how to use the Git for version control, we come back into the requirement of the homework 6, and we use one of the past students' report as a daemon to try to analyze what we are expecting from such assignment. Very first of all, it's worth noticing that the GitHub open source project participation is a must-have assignment for the undergraduate students, and for undergraduate students, if you are willing to make a trial on that NSF proposal work, that would become your extra credit for this course. And correspondingly, this open source project can become an extra credit for graduate students. Um, so uh, you must notice that even though you can, I mean, two of you can take part in a team, it's not allowed for an undergraduate and the other graduate, so that it will become a mixed combination. This is not allowed. So you must, if you want to take up a team of two, it must be either it must be two undergraduates together for this project. So, as Professor Huang has listed some several potential projects you can choose to take part in. I mean, there are many good examples in the past, so we can just choose one good report as example to show what we are expecting from your report at the end of the term. Um, So here, I mean, the all examples are listed here, and the example I choose to make some simple explanation would be this one, and it's the this project is conducted by Albert in 2018. So that he chose a game project called the Open RCT2, which is a open source portal of a classical game, so that it can freely run across platforms. Mm, and the first of all, of course, the title you need to add your own name and why you choose this project. What is the goal and history of this open source project, and what is the and for an open source project, it's very important to know what's the is there any routines for their development, so that he also provides the link here, so that the development team also provide the different routines of how you need to commit, and also coding style things, so that you can try to when you try to be a contributor, you need to follow the guidelines provided as they suggested, so that it could be you could be officially allowed to contribute this project. And of course, I mean, there could be some communication methods. Some source project some projects may also provide some Discord channels or some kind of extra communication methods, so that the contributors could communicate more on the development. And yeah, I mean, this one important part of this software engineering course is how to test the program efficiently. And unfortunately, uh, he also pointed out this is a game, so basically manual testing and trial would be really necessary, and automated testing is somehow difficult. And I guess this is a very realistic problem for many different projects in reality. So after introduce the project and their contribution routine, the each this student here, he provided several tasks he has conducted, so that we can see um, the first task here. He mentioned that he add different titles for multiplayer window tabs, which is, I mean, he describes it as a relatively simple work, and we can see that the merge request was um, conducted um, on the May 30th, and actually it's quickly merged the next day, and so that this is, as he suggested, it's a relatively simple work. And the second task seems to be relatively more complex. It's something about the character and character coding, so that um, we can see that even though uh, this I mean, even though this is has gone through a large number of communication, it has. I mean, it still can. It still. It's actually emerged after a very long time, so that it's actually this bug fix is a relatively complex process, which is somehow also another side of the software development in reality. And also, um, I mean, at least uh, by the time of this report he wrote, there is only a pull request, and we can see, after some time after the report, I finally got some more stable fix, and it has got some merge somehow later. Mm. So then the third task. So the third task is also here. Yeah. So he made up a little extra function of adding the auto rotate shops in the game, which is a feature that he added. Unlike the task two, is a bug fix. So he has done a very nicely job here, but we can see it's still. I mean, there is a tremendous process of communication and interaction between his pull request and other contributors. And then finally, the good thing is they reached an agreement somehow, and it was successfully approved and merged. Yeah. So in this way, he from his three tasks he has conducted, we can see that the communication is a very important aspect of the code development, and the code review process can either be very quick, or it could be a very tedious and time-consuming process. And it might. I mean, fortunately, I think this is a very highly active project. We can see that it's the community history is. Uh, we can see that how many commits we can see, and also, however, uh, it's very important for you to choose a really active project so that you can have enough communication with the team so that you can easily keep your progress updated. Um, yeah, and also you he also provides a timeline of this whole process for this project, which is, I mean, just as we expected. It would take you, I mean, in a total, it may not take you very much long time. However, consider the progress it would need to um, really find the problem and try to contribute to it, and also consider that there might be a time delay between the you and the management team of the project. This whole process itself, a total, may span over a relatively longer time. So try to start early on this homework assignment. So overall, I think this is a very good example that becomes a good demo for this homework assignment 6. And I think you are also welcome to look at other projects to see other demo project to see how past students have realized this. Uh, I mean, if you are interested in the bug fix, existing bug fix, one little trick that you might want to notice is that there are different labels that may indicate different issues may have different uh, difficulty. So I mean, you are. I mean, one common suggestion is that it's you might need you can have a look at this kind of issue with this kind of good first issue as a good indicator that it might be a good point for you to take part in if you want to try this kind of bug fix contribution. And some final remarks on the project, online source project. So, I mean, when you are browsing the project, one necessary uh, one necessary part of the project is the README, so that the README tells you what the project is doing, and also it tells you what you might need to do if you want to take part or simply use this project. Um, and we can see that this kind of README is usually denoted as the file extension of MD. MD here is the extension of so-called a markdown language. And this is a very important tool for easy notation on GitHub and many other platforms, online platforms. And you are encouraged to learn more about this markdown thing. And also, there is a commonly Git ignore file here. You may not need to take very much attention on this right now, but I mean, just in case some of you may be curious, it's actually provides what files the Git system would ignore, such as on the Mac system, it would try to ignore some Mac system files, something like this. Um, and also the last thing about the open source, if you want to start your own open source, it's very necessary to do a little research on what open source license would be most appropriate because the license indicates the rights and responsibilities of both contributors and users. And I mean, if you don't have a very suitable license, it would become a barrier for more contributors and users to take part. Okay, so that's all I want to introduce, and good luck with homework assignment 6, and thank you.